All right. Good evening, BSTARS. I am so super excited. Thank you for joining us for our special edition, Black History Month. Although we celebrate Black History every day, right? Every day of the year. And so,
Mhm.
my name is Tiana Piles. I'm a co founder of BSTARS, breastfeeding sisters that are receiving support. And so, thank you so much for joining us on our BSTARS Live Meetup. Woo woo! This is a special edition for Black History Month. I am joined by superstar, rock star, family, sister,
Yeah.
everything, Felisha Floyd. Let me just at least say to my group, thank y'all for joining us. Hang in there with your breastfeeding. Thank you again for making us a part of some time that you take because you could be doing all kind of other things at this point, especially since we are for the most part still at home and trying to transition back in and just all the stuff like this. So again, thank you. So I wanna introduce Felisha, get into this work, and talk about our special edition for Black History Month. We're gonna cover quite a few things, and if you all have any questions, please feel free to join us. Felicia!
Hey, hey. How is everyone?
Oh, we're doing good. We're getting some wonderful waves on Instagram.
Awesome. Hi. I'm sorry I'm not showing my face. I'm gonna have a keep it real moment. I'm getting my locks taken down. And that's how it
Okay.
is, right? Like we're working people and just like our mamas out here, hey, we gotta do what we have to do to keep the mission alive. So I am off camera.
Understood. So as
Thank
we
you
get
so much for
started,
having
please. Girl, absolutely. This is a treat. This is actually an excuse for us to get together. I miss you. First of all, how are you doing? How are you?
Gosh, I am doing so well. Really getting acclimated to Georgia and enjoying it here. Not as far from Memphis, so I need to come see you. How are you doing out there?
We're doing good. Hang on in there, as all of us are. Hold our breath, for what's next,
Yes,
but prepared. We got to keep going regardless. So
yes,
we'll be
so
hanging
true.
on it, and yes, I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, hopefully
Yes,
this pandemic will simmer down so we can get back to the work in person, even though we're still doing the work
absolutely.
remotely.
Right. I know, because, like, for me and doing a lot of this work, I do it for, the babies, hold my babies, my nieces and nephews, see my
Yes.
sister in person. And so I think a lot of us are in people person, not just people person.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I try to make sure that because we don't have the same connections that we're so used to keep us going in this work, that, we just got to take a moment to be like, how are you? What's going on? And really listen, not only to our moms, but also our lactation provider, healthcare
Exactly.
provider.
Hmm.
Ooh, because the work don't stop.
Listen, so true. And I was just thinking not too long ago, I was like, I'm so thankful we got to spend our time in Memphis right before the pandemic. What is the chances of that before everything shut down? So I'm so
Right.
grateful that we got to touch bases and I got to love on some of the families there and meet many folks in the community and really just go into this pandemic on such a high. Like I said, during the class, this is my best class yet, and I just really enjoyed the love and the deep passion that Memphis has there. So such a lucky community.
I when I do some presentations, we talk about the things that BSTARS has been involved in. I go into how we were the last CLC training on
Yes.
earth in person. Man, oh my goodness. Thank goodness for you all support of the class, because people started to get a little anxious and nervous Wednesday and Thursday. We bringing in
Yes.
our Lysol was like, look, we gonna get through this class.
Exactly.
And thank
Last
God,
thing we do.
right, nothing happened. But it was like, woo, the last one on earth for real.
Yes,
I love
yes.
Uh, but please tell us, for those, there's not many of us who don't know the beautiful, wonderful Felisha Floyd.
Oh
Tell
no.
us about yourself personally and what had you get involved into this work.
Oh, that is such a great question. Well, I, like many of my other colleagues, I kind of got in this work by calling. You know, I always feel like sometimes the lactation life chooses us. I got into this work because of some of the challenges I had nursing my children and being one of the first in my family, I guess, for quite some time, um, to breastfeed and not knowing or having anyone to turn to, and kind of getting those, you don't need that baby on your titty. You're not going to finish college. You're not going to, do all these things. And it was very frustrating. But just like at the time, I was a young mom as well. And I was out to prove everyone wrong. So some of the challenges I had, it really made me think, like, where do people go for help? Like, so what does this look like? And as I subsequently breastfed my first two children, I had my third one who was a NICU baby. And it was one of the most challenging aspects of my breastfeeding relationships with my children. But by then I had successfully breastfed two children, and I kind of became that go-to guru in the family, and how folks ask you questions. And I couldn't help but to reflect on, oh my goodness, with all of these issues I'm having with my third baby, being a NICU baby, and not being able to latch. We didn't latch for the first 6 weeks or so. If he was my first child, I know I wouldn't have consistently and persistently tried to breastfeed him. And eventually we got it, but it really led me to have a deeper passion for the work and to go into it as a change of career field. And from there, I went on to, work for WIC, and the rest is history. So been in this game for quite some time. That baby now is almost 14 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Time flies.
Okay, you know what? It really does. It's interesting working with our new moms, and they go through certain challenges, and they feel like they want to give up and things. I'm like, girl, hold on, just hold on, because this time goes by so, like, looking back is, in hindsight, everything is super fast. But it's like when you're in that moment and you're frustrated and you feel that you don't have the support you need.
Survival mode, yes.
Right. It's like it can be so easy to give up. And so it's important for our sisters to have the help of others who have come before them to say, take a breath, we're gonna figure this out. If this is what you want to continue to do, I'm gonna help you to do it. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be right. And then next thing you know, they're breastfeeding for 2 years.
Exactly. That's how it was. Next thing I know, he nursed for over 2 years. And it really highlights the importance of having a community and what that looks like, and surrounding yourself with folks that are there to cheer you on and help you and support you. And not only that, just sometimes just be the person that you're like, this sucks. And today is not the day where I want this baby on me. And that's okay too, because it's all in yin and yang and having those moments. But I always say, and I know it sounds so cliche, but the days are long, but the years are short. And like you said, before you know it, you look up and they're like starting kindergarten. You're like, oh my gosh, where did time go?
Right. Our sister on Instagram said her son just turned 3, and oh my goodness, he won't get off. So I hear you. You got to sometimes make that plan for weaning. We had asked on our Memphis BSTARS page this week. I started off last week, every now and again we do just a question for our just general group, to just have some good discussion. Sometimes moms don't even necessarily want to feel like they're being helped. They'll just go and scroll and look, like, a lot of members will scroll and look at this later on. And so we started last week with how'd you feel when you first left? How'd that feel? How'd it go? And so this week I wanted to honor our exclusively breast pumping moms by saying, what made you decide to do that, and how did it make you feel, and how long did you go? And so it's been very interesting dialogue. And so in one of the moms, she was saying that she had a NICU baby, and so she is trying to transfer from bottle feeding to breastfeeding. So with your third baby, what helped you to get through, and what ultimately helped you to get him to breast?
Well, I want to give a shout out to our pumping moms, because oftentimes, I think sometimes in the dialect of conversation around breastfeeding and chest feeding, we oftentimes omit the moms that are pumping, right? Or the
Absolutely.
parents that are pumping. And we have to talk about that, and how that support is a tailored support and needed as well. Ensuring they have the proper equipment, ensuring they have the proper information to make an informed decision, and especially for our NICU population that are pumping as well. So for me, pumping was a completely new entity when I entered that space with my NICU baby as well. And what actually encouraged me or got me pumping is because I kind of had that example of nursing two children before. So I know it could be done, but I couldn't quite
Okay.
figure out how this looked, this new relationship looked. And I
Okay.
had a nursing toddler. So thank goodness, she was excited. She's like, oh my goodness, a faucet. Here we go. She was really excited, but it really helped my supply. And I was just determined to bring him home. I
Mm.
knew that even though I didn't know a whole lot, I didn't know anything about the benefits of breastfeeding. I just knew that we couldn't afford formula, and it's something that was easy for me with my other two children, and it just had to happen. But I didn't know the tools or have the tools or the information or the community. So I
Okay.
actually we couldn't afford a pump. So I bought my first pump on Craigslist. I ain't encouraging that, but it is what it is.
Right.
And because I was so determined, I was like, how am I supposed to get my milk to my baby? But that relationship continued. Like I said, he didn't latch for quite some time, and I had the doctors threatening to put him back in the hospital once he was released, and all of this stuff. So it was really a scary time. So I became really kind of OCD and really kind of tapped into a little bit of postpartum depression as well that I was experiencing, trying to make sure that he stays healthy. So pumping was hard work, and I really give a shout out and special love to my pumping parents, and try to hold a place for them where they can feel supported and loved on. So that's kind of my journey with pumping. And then of course later on, I was able to pump as needed, or whatnot, but kind of being thrown into that space was a learning curve.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's amazing how we get into this work, something
Yeah.
that um either we have no issue or there's an issue, and you realize there are other people who may feel the same and needs
Yeah.
help and support. But it's really like an ordained thing, it's a mission where
It
it's
is.
like, here is something I've done out of a choice of my own body, and now I can help my other sisters and the people to be able to breastfeed, you
Yeah.
know. And so
Yeah.
it's amazing, like, we used to grow up and think, okay, I'm gonna be a I know what word of bread maker came to mind.
Milk
We were
maker,
told we
cash
have to
cow.
oh my goodness, what in the world? But like we're told we got to get into these career paths, and this
Yeah.
is what it's
Yeah.
going to be. But then, like, you get into life, and then you realize
Yes.
that you use your life experiences to help others and make money,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so that makes it even so much more fulfilling.
It does. It doesn't. I always say when you don't feel like you're working, that's where you're supposed to be, right? And I
Absolutely.
think, like I said, so many others, we have been called to this work to support
Mhm.
families and pay it forward. And that was the number one thing when I realized that um, I was supporting my family and getting into the work professionally as a WIC peer counselor, that there was no representation of us breastfeeding. The only representation or the only discussion around it was wet nursing during slavery, when our people were
Girl.
enslaved. And so I was like, surely there's
Mhm.
some other Black and brown folks out here breastfeeding. And none of
Right.
the information I was learning and um, um, trying to figure out what thrush looks like in a brown breast, like, that was not
Mhm.
available to me. And
Mm.
we were actually stationed in Charleston at the time, and I was just our numbers went up so much just by me working at that
Mm.
particular clinic with
Mm.
our Black moms. And I knew that representation mattered. It was just a in your face obvious information with thinking about just looking at the numbers going up. Many times, most of the folks didn't feel as comfortable talking to certain peer counselors, and me being the only
Mhm.
Black
Yep.
peer counselor, a lot of times I had a different
Mhm.
relationship with our
Mm-hmm.
people. And
Yep.
then it really dawned on me, like, gosh, where do we go to see each other breastfeed? Like, if you're seeing every poster on the wall of a white mom breastfeeding, like, of course
Right.
that's going to implicitly send a different message to tell us, well, that's
Right.
what white folks do, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it really led me to create Blacktavist, to really have that representation, reduce those disparities, and be committed to the advocacy side. Even before I knew it was the advocacy side, it was just like, I need my people
Mm-hmm.
represented. You know? So
And
that's how it kind of got started on that advocacy way with Blacktavist. Yeah.
and that was a wonderful segue because it's interesting. A lot of our story, like I love that we're both with peer counselors and coming through there. But I was gonna ask you, yeah, because like even when you came for the CLC training last year, some people knew you but didn't know you were Blacktavist, and it was like,
I
what?
know, right? I'm
Like,
like incognito all the time.
but I love that. Oh my goodness, it was just I'm a rock star status,
Oh,
and I'm
thank
like, yeah, and I know her.
Yeah, I try to keep it about the mission and the people. I show my face occasionally. I'm trying to warm up to the idea, just to spread information, because again, this is a calling. You got to get pushed out of your comfort zone sometimes, but
Right.
I really wanted the community, about the community, for the community, and be alongside them, versus kind of showing my face all the time and making it about me. And I know now, since being in this support realm,
Mhm.
the the culture has changed quite a bit. So it's very common to, show your face and things like that. So not knocking any other that choose to do that. But, I really wanted it to be about the parents, that our birthing families, our Black birthing families.
Mhm. Absolutely. And girl, ain't nothing wrong with a little incognito, because sometimes it helps people to feel a little bit more comfortable, or they feel they can support more when they don't necessarily know what's going on and they truly see the message. As you're saying, it's all about the
Exactly.
message and support. So, but I just find it just like when I found out that you were, it was like, of course, that makes sense.
It's like Bridgerton, the secret writer, right? Like,
I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So it's always fun to see people's face when they realize that that I am the
Mhm.
person behind Blacktavist, especially
Mhm.
being a faculty member for CLC.
Oh, and I thank you for showing up in spaces where there has been either little or no representation of us, and for me and others, many others, we feel like, oh, Felicia's there. Oh, okay, we are well represented. Of course, it's wonderful when we have others in the room, but we at least have a voice, a strong voice. So that we can trust in those spaces. So I thank you, and wading through being, the only Black peer counselor, helping them raise their rates, probably with some sometimes our work is not necessarily appreciated, or they think we're trying to be about us, and we really aren't. It's like, hey, this is working for everybody. This ain't about me. This is
Exactly.
about our families. And
Exactly.
so I thank you for persevering through a lot of what you have been through, and using that for fuel your passion, your mission, and all the different things we have worked on. And so, we talked about the CLC, and you being a trainer, and then BSTARS, we hosted our first CLC training last March, as we talked about right before as the pandemic was heating up, if you will. And so, how are things going? And how did that help you to come up with the Lactation course
Yeah.
that you are doing as well?
So awesome. Yeah. So I really wanted to. I've always loved providing um an avenue for the next generation of lactation providers. I always thought it was important to pay it forward, like the support that has been given to me by Jaretha and Dr. Bug and all of the folks out there that was been in this work as leaders and elders in the career field. And I always thought it was important for us to learn from us as well as we go through these quote
Absolutely.
unquote lactation ropes
Mhm,
and
mhm.
how that is influenced and what that means. And also I think it's important for white folks to learn from Black lactation experts as well, because we are experts. So that opportunity to teach for CLC really led me to understand that we need our own curriculum, from our stories and our lens, for our people, and to teach a curriculum that was rooted in equity and also w- having representation in the material and the evidence-based material and what that looks like. So actually it kind of started from a casual conversation on Facebook, on Lydia's post, and
Mhm.
we were just talking. We were like, is there anything for us, by us out there as far as lactation courses? We have like A, B, C, D, E, F, G of breastfeeding. Like, what's out there
Right,
for us, by us? And so we're like,
right.
there's nothing. So you know what? Let's do this. We all are experts. Let's be the change we need to see, right?
Mhm.
So we 2 years ago we started talking about the Black course, and it's been in the works, and we are really excited. It consists of Lydia Boyd, um, Nagazi Tibbs and Tanifer Kamara. So we are
Oh,
really fortunate to be together in our sisterhood and support up and coming Blacktation nation, right? We just rolled out our first cohort this year for the Blacktation course. So we're in the midst of that now, and we'll be rolling out the next ones April and May. So we're excited
okay.
to have this opportunity for education, because what we know is what's being taught to lactation care providers for the past 30 years or so, 35 years, is not
Mhm.
working. It's not working for our communities. And we continue to see the disparities keep being perpetuated when it comes to
Right,
the gaps of white and
right,
Black infants specifically breastfeeding and what that
right.
looks like. And
Mhm, mhm.
oftentimes we try to fit a square in a circle, right? and it wasn't working. So we said, you know what,
Right.
we have to just do our own thing and really teach from a perspective that's going to help our community and not hinder our community.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
So we're excited. We're honored. It's a calling. It's really such a calling, and I'm completely honored to work alongside these amazing, amazing folks.
That's some heavy hitters, girl. Oh my goodness. Uh, so I know you and I have talked about bringing the Black course to Memphis, well,
Yeah.
of course, virtually at the point. And so I'd like to announce that we will officially be doing that. We will be working on dates and helping everyone to be able to take advantage of this great information in the Black course. I'm so excited for it. And I think that this is going to be amazing, not only for our Black and Brown people to attend, but like you said, everyone. I
Hmm.
thought it was interesting last year doing our course with you. Um, I think we did okay. It was a mixed room,
Hmm.
but for us, I mean, I know you're gonna be you already gonna center people as you do anyway. But it was like it's important for people to know we are in Memphis, a chocolate city, and we are experiencing racial disparities in healthcare and in breastfeeding.
Yes.
Period. And
Yeah.
so you may talk to a Black family, and although you may not be able to recommend them to a Black IBOC or CLC, you need to still give them the best of you, whoever you are. And so, and I'm going to give the best of what I am to whatever family I'm serving. And
Yes.
so sometimes people feel like this work is supposed to be separating us, but
Hmm.
it's no, we're all experiencing the same issues,
Hmm.
but we're not getting the same help and support.
Exactly.
That is going on. So let's talk about that. Let's change that. So I loved your intentionality of around the course last year, and that what you continue to do to promote that for everyone. This is for everyone.
Yes.
It does
Yes.
good for everyone that we increase Black and Brown families to breastfeed.
So true.
Um,
And
Girl,
allies to recognize all of us have biases. So that is not
absolutely.
that is that is something that we all have, but we especially need allies to recognize
Mhm,
that
mhm.
um, the systemic racism that goes on and the biases that are unfortunately get
Mhm.
to our parents, right, that we're serving, and what that looks like for them, or what that can look like for them. So we thought it was really important. We'll have some courses where it's just Black only, and we'll also have courses where allies, or accomplices, as we call them, right, are allowed to come. But we definitely, our course it decenters whiteness. That's the difference around our course and other courses. It decenters whiteness. So while they're there as guests and learning, they're also learning to be a good accomplice and support system for Black families, and how to recognize their own biases and acknowledge that, and continue the journey, because it's not competency, it's humility and culturally centering the support that's given.
Right, right. That is
Yeah.
beautiful. Talking about this reminded me, Jada and I had attended an event here in Memphis, and it was, although once again, a chocolate city, a lot of the programming around lactation providers is very white driven here. And
Mm-hmm.
so we were attending one in support, of our local coalition in the group. And so we were talking to a couple members, and it felt like some of it had to deal around BSTARS. What's going on with BSTARS and our Black families? What did you do? And so, my apologies, Felicia. Help
No, you're fine.
plug me in. My son did something. Help plug me in. See if it's in the backpack. So like it was like, okay, we don't just have to just talk about, Blackness because you're talking to two Black lactation,
Exactly.
providers. And in fact, one of them was talking about how she was going away for the weekend, and was nursing pumps, and all that, was excited for the time away. And so Jada was like, oh yeah, I remember that first time when I was away from my daughter, this girl, make sure you bring your pump. Just like, and the woman was like, wow, like, yeah, we deal with the same issues. It wasn't like a black thing. It was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, I'm plugging me in.
Yeah. And I think that's important. We are experts. We have some brilliance. We have some excellent, amazing folks in the field that are, I think, superior. Really, I hate to say that, but I feel like, because we are always, in a sense, challenged with the information we know, and the performance we have, we do have to kind of be on our game all the time. And I feel as though, unfortunately, when folks do see you in a room, right, or you're at a conference, they make a lot of assumptions and do want to talk to you about their Black grandchild, or what can we do to bring more Black folks to our support group. And it's like, did you ask Karen that over there? And so yeah, so that I'm glad that Jada was able to provide that information, and kind of like, how we do when we make a point without especially in the South, bless your heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl. And I love when we show into these places, especially, we're the presentation together. In fact, I'm hoping to get you down here for our symposium in June. So, but we are experts in information. We don't just have to talk about Blackness and Blackness and Black related things. I think it's important to honor that there are professionals of every color that know how to speak about a thing. And so, I love, oh, you with me? Did I lose you? I think I lost my girl. She'll be back. Hopefully, maybe she will. But just in terms of just being able to see different people of different colors talking to us about different lactation needs. And I'm not saying that everyone has to be the same color. It's just wonderful to have a mix. That way people can identify with everybody in the room. If that makes sense. All right. Well, I think I lost my girl. We know what she was doing. But I thank you, Felisha, for joining us as long as you could, talking about yourself, your work, which is so needed. And I admire you greatly and deeply. And so many others do as well. You joining us again? Let me see if she can click back on.
technology, right?
Oh, yes, girl. Yeah, we all gonna be pros by the time we can meet back in person.
Listen, we really are. Yeah, so yeah, you're absolutely right. But we know that our stories matter and it needs to come for us. And what white folks
Mhm.
have been monopolizing the field and where, especially according to the stats that USLCA just put out, with the population of most lactation consultants are over 70, or between 60 and 70 and white. And we have to change that. We have to do the work to dismantle and change that. And I just want to give
Absolutely.
homage to you, Miss President of USBC, also leading the way to dismantling and having
Share.
representation. Right? Look at there. We are really changing forth the whole system. And when we talk about policies and systems, this is where it starts putting us in leadership positions. And we build our own tables, but we can also be at tables where we need to be.
No, well, I thank you. I remember having conversations with you about that. And look at us, girl.
Yes, it's
Oh,
really exciting. Very, very, very excited and honored and proud, and to be able to support parents and families out here. It's just so vital. So I really
absolutely.
appreciate.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Girl, I thank you so much for your time, and thank you for being able to willing to join us, even with you having other things to do and got
Oh,
going on. Um,
yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate the invitation. It's so generous of you, and I appreciate this time and sharing your community with me. I still keep in contact with a lot of folks from Memphis. I just love Memphis. I can't wait to the world.
awesome.
I can bring my family. And it's still on my list of places I am going to live. I'm gonna speak it into
Okay. Okay. Yep. All right. I see you getting closer. Do you miss the beach?
I do. We still have our house there, so we get
Mhm.
to occasionally. But
Okay.
I miss the beach. But I don't necessarily. It's a different. Florida's just different.
Mhm.
But I do miss
Understood.
in the water and it's
Yep.
food.
Understood. But girl, please. Oh yeah. I'm sure. But girl, please. I miss your pictures of the beach. Oh yeah. I'm like right there. I'm like right there with her. So. But I see you getting closer. Soon you'll be even a little closer
Yeah,
to Memphis. So you're getting
let me know.
there.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go down. Ready for a beach vacay. You the hardest working woman I know. You're gonna have to take some time.
Girl, I'm working on it. Oh,
So,
well, again,
so,
thank you so much for joining. So what you gonna do next with your hair, girl?
oh goodness, I don't know. I'm gonna first of all, I need a trim, so I'm gonna get a trim, and then I'll probably just probably put some more locks or knotless braids in it.
Mm.
Great girl.
Cause oh my goodness, girl, you and your thick hair. Oh my goodness, I'm sure your faux locks are beautiful. So
Oh, the
yeah, please continue to post those beautiful pictures of yourself so I can see
I
them of the next due.
her page too for those of you that are in Athens or surrounding counties because she did such a good job. Phenomenal young woman. Yeah, so
Oh wait,
support.
say her name. Say her name again.
Hiya, Delane.
I,
I had the name. Awesome. In the what area?
in Athens area, and
In
she is
Athens.
phenomenal.
Okay.
She is a senior in high school, planning to go to Howard. So again,
Wow.
entrepreneurs out here, and she is dope. Yeah, she is amazing. She does great work.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Awesome. All
thought
right.
back now because I was like, I'm old. I don't know how to take this hair down. YouTube, I'm not doing. So yeah, got to give a shout out to our young entrepreneurs out here. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And you reminded me, you talked about the average age of lactation professionals. Our thing is, and being intentional about it, not only to lower the age, but also to support those coming behind us
It
as well.
is
No?
so important. Lift as you rise. Yep.
Absolutely. And I ain't mad at them. We are all in this together. And as they come up with innovative and different things, like we came up with innovative and
Yeah.
different things, hopefully it's not as hard because we are paving this way for them, but we still need them to come on behind us and,
Yeah.
and, and support, and continue,
And we
So
appreciate the work that's been done, and the shoulders that we stand on with the important work that's being done. But we
absolutely.
really, really are it's so beautiful to see the avenues and the paths that are being taken when we are involved in a conversation and in the front seat, in the front chair, right? And when our community is centered around the conversation. So I'm so excited to see what we will do in the next couple of years, because we've done so much. So we've come so far. So I'm so excited to see
Really,
what we will do in years to come.
absolutely. Me as well. Yes, girl. Yes. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us. Our moms out there, our families, you all stay encouraged. We know that we are still trying to wade through what is next with this pandemic. Some of you all may still find yourselves alone or limited in your support. Please know that BSTARS and other organizations are out there to help support. Of course, now we seem to be entrenched in a lot of telemedicine. However, if it comes right down to it, we know how to mask up and do whatever else we need to do to come see you to make sure we can help you in your breastfeeding journey and goals. So hang in there and know that you are doing the absolute best that you can for your child, especially now. COVID is just one of the many things listed, a new thing among many others in the illnesses that can happen to babies and families and just anyone. And so with everything that they have out there, you are giving living medicine
Yeah.
to your baby to keep them protected. And even if you catch COVID, it still keeps your baby protected
Yes.
because you're antibodies. So please stay encouraged. Stay empowered by knowing that you are doing the best that you can for yourself and your baby, because there's a lot of other things to be worried about, if you choose, but you don't have to worry about that. And so sometimes if we can help you to make breastfeeding and your journey a little bit better, please reach out, please.
Yeah.
We are on Facebook. A lot of you all have my personal number, and we'll call anytime, day or night, and you will usually find me up. That's fine. We have many other CLCs as well as IBCLC help here in Memphis. But of course, with this virtual platform now, we have other national help and support, and our sisters like Felicia in Georgia or Jennifer in California, as we need. So we are here truly to support. I hope that you all feel and hear our love and passion for this. And so again, thank you all for joining us. I just wanted to say quickly as we are signing off that BSTARS will be having its 6th annual baby shower February 27th. It's going to be a hybrid event this year because last year we did that right before the pandemic in person. And so as you all have seen the flyer and signed up, we are at capacity for right now. However, there were a couple of duplicate registrations, and so we're trying to go through and get those. So if you instant message me and it's closed and we can put you in one of those slots, we will do our best to do it. Why we limit our capacities, because we love to love on our mothers in the best way that we can. For some of our mothers, this is their baby shower. And so having this community breastfeeding baby shower, we want to honor them with gifts. We want to shower you all with stellar gifts as we can, so that let's just celebrate birth, celebrate life in you. And any questions that you need answered, breastfeeding and pregnancy and postpartum, like all that. So I look forward to you all joining us in. It will be on our social media pages, Memphis BSTARS, Breastfed Baby, as well as on Instagram Live. And so it'll be online.
So
And there'll be a pickup afterward. Yes. So I'm praying that everything will go amazing, and we will work out whatever kinks we have to from there, because it's being done in love. And just take note moving forward how we may need to move in this time.
Yes.
But Felisha, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you have a good evening.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, and keep on nursing those babies.
Absolutely. All right, take care, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Okay, talk to you soon. And let me know whatever help you need. I'm here.
No, I already know that, girl. Thank you so much, and vice versa. You take care.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, and you all take care as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. That was so exciting. It's always a pleasure to talk to Felisha. All right, well, take care, Oh, I don't have my teddy bear, but you gonna throw my teddy bear to me? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Got my teddy bear. So here, love and miss you all. Take care of yourselves as you do others, and take a moment for yourself when you need to, and whatever that means. But love and miss you. Take care. We'll talk soon. Okay. Bye.